Hugh and Jordanne, congratulations on Middle Heart. It's so good to see Irish films telling so many different stories now. Hugh, for you, why was your directorial debut about two fraternal twin sisters?
That's a good question. I'd been reading Skippy Dye's book by Paul Murray, and I'd been working on my own projects, but I was kind of stuck, and a friend of ours actually recommended we might try something together. So I approached him and pitched a vague idea about suburban Dublin teenagers, sort of story like that, and he came back with an idea about two sisters. So that's where it all kind of came from originally.
This screened at, I think it was the Galway Film Fleadh. It also screened at Comic-Con here in Dublin. When you're walking into that, the lights are going down, it's about to start screening. What's going through your minds?
I'm a nervous wreck.
Really?
Yeah. It's really odd seeing yourself like up on screen and sitting back and watching it, and it's almost like you know it's hard as well because you're your biggest critic, like, so you're always like, you know, pointing out stuff, but I've learned to just sit back and enjoy it, thankfully now. But it starts off with a voiceover of me, so straight away I hear my voice, so it can be really taunting, but once it's done and the audience applauds, it's really nice.
Not only do they applaud, you get awarded with breakthrough performance. What's this about you almost not being there to accept it? Were you about to walk out of the room or something before you were awarded?
Oh, well, that makes me sound like a diva. No, so we were in Galway Film Fleadh, and I wasn't feeling well, and I think it could have been like the nerves and excitement because it was actually my first time seeing it, and I was just like, I was having a great time, but I was really exhausted, and you know, it was a bit overwhelming for me and everything. So I was like, come on, we head home, Mom, like it's time. And she's like, no, but the awards are on. And I was like, but I'm not gonna get it, like, so like, you know, let whoever gets it go up and get it, and we'll send them a nice text or something to say congratulations. And she was like, no, we'll just sit through. So I sat through, and she was like, prepare something to say and everything, and I was like, no, like I'm just like, I'm not gonna get it, it's fine, like, and yeah, and then they called my name, and I was like, God, I should have prepared something. My mom's looking at me like so yeah.
What was that moment like, going up there for both of you, like you going up there and receiving it, and you seeing Jordanne go up there and receive it?
It definitely taught me not to doubt myself too much, because it definitely doing Metal Heart was definitely in my comfort zone. It's not the type of acting or style that I've done before. Like, I've done like kind of more serious roles, like in I Used to Live Here, Rebellion, Resistance, Heartbreak. They were all really like serious and, you know, challenging, but this was challenging in a different way because this was so different to what I've done before. So I definitely had doubts, and so that's probably why I didn't think I won the award. But once I did, it gave me a huge amount of confidence, and it's definitely pushed me to you know, not keep to a certain style and you know, expand my acting. And yeah.
Talking about like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, going behind the camera, Hugh. What was that like? I mean, you're a professional actor, you've been doing this for so long, and you're like, I'm just going to step away and go behind and direct this whole thing.
What was I thinking? I've loved sort of directing for a long time, and I've done a bit of it over the years, and obviously I'll still always hopefully act, but it was a real dream to kind of make sort of a feature as well, and you know, it's definitely something as well that involved a lot of, well, I know everything involves acting if it's a film, but this particularly sort of relied on the actors a lot because we didn't have a lot of money, or, you know, for locations and stuff like that, so we were very much just, the story was this small suburban story, but we just had to make sure that the actors were great and you know, could pull it off, so they were amazing. And I suppose from my background, it was really nice to be, you know, to feel like I could maybe talk with the actors, having experienced it myself too.
What were some of the surprises about being a director?
I guess the hardest thing in some ways is, well, I always worried about how do you know when to move on, because the time is so precious, and you know, you sort of doubt yourself even in scenes, you know, have we got it, have we got the takes right, and everyone wants to move on because the time is so tight, but you want to make sure that the actors are happy and that you feel like you've got it, and you're never totally sure. So I think starting out, I kind of felt like I was confident enough to feel like I knew when it was there, and that's a scary thing. So once you get over that, I think it's not so scary. You just have to be really prepared and open to things changing and not going right, and that's part of the excitement. Every day things won't be decided and will go wrong, and you'll have to fix things, but you've got to have the attitude of that's a good thing, like let's solve those problems rather than oh no, everything's gone wrong.
Talking about change, there's been a bit of change in your life, Jordanne. Like, you started off with the acting and alongside, like we spoke about the Galway Film Flat, you're winning the award. You shouldn't be not used to winning stuff, because you were also boxing and you were winning championships. So how do you go from both careers are actually being very successful? Did you make a conscious decision to go, I'm pursuing acting, or was it just boxing was something that you still probably do for fun, but it just gradually fell away?
Well, as long as I can remember, like from when I was really young, I don't know where I got it from, because nobody in my family or like anyone that I knew was an actor or went down that route. So I don't know where it came from, but like my dad was definitely a film buff, and he showed me all the classics growing up. So maybe it came from there. But I was like desperate to be an actor. Like sometimes I remember when I was younger, like I'd be watching a really great movie and suddenly I couldn't sit comfortably because I felt like I shouldn't be sitting here. Like I want to go and I want to go out and do it. And I was always afraid that wouldn't happen, probably because I had never met anyone really that was that way. So it just always, probably why I doubted it so much is because I never thought that it would become reality for me, because it just seemed so far-fetched. Like I remember going to Czech Republic Film Festival with my first feature. I used to live here, and I remember thinking, like, I was almost like in a panic, because I was like, I need to take this all in, because I just didn't think it would happen again. I just thought I was, I just got lucky, and this is something I'm going to be able to tell like people in years to come. Oh, I was in Czech Republic one time with a film. So I'm so thankful that it continued. But with boxing, I can be a bit of like a perfectionist. So like if I decide to do something, I go all in. That's a quote from the film. I like to like like do the best I can with it, and yeah.
Talking about quotes from the film, I loved the one at the very beginning of the film. Emma was writing in her journal where she's writing songs and stuff, and she says, the fear of no matter what you do, nothing changes. In this industry where it is so uncertain, how do you quash that fear, and how do you make sure you take control and make sure things do happen?
I think in a lot of interviews, people always ask me, where do you think you'll be in 5 years' time? And I always feel like that question is directed at the fear of actors of not like making it, or like not continuing acting, because it's so like, you say it's so uncertain. Like, but I guess I have like the privilege of being young and having loads of opportunities that thankfully came my way. So I'm not thinking of 5 years' time, because I'm enjoying it too much right now to think ahead. So I don't have much fear right now, which I'm glad. Are you? Do you?
Well, it's funny because I suppose as an actor, it's half like enjoying the fact that you don't know what you're going to be doing next, because I know that I kind of like the sort of, not having everything planned out. But then from my side, making stuff is a great way of kind of having control of your work. And then when you get the opportunity as an actor, you're really grateful for them, but you're kind of making your own things too. So when they come along, you're really appreciative, but it's not everything in case it isn't going to happen. But, you've made all your opportunities by just working really hard as well, because you do,
Thanks.
Yeah, well, here's to more opportunities paying off, and you giving us stuff like Metal Heart, because this is absolutely brilliant. Thanks so much, guys.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.